I'm here sitting with the ever so famous Celeste, and I won't say her last name, I'll just call her Celeste. So, Celeste, thank you for showing up today. I'm just so glad and privileged to have you here. How's your day going so far?
Thank you for inviting me, Jesse. I'm having a great day. It's a beautiful day outside.
Good. So, Celeste, the reason why I like doing these podcasts with agents that actually bring a lot of value to the industry, and I have been following you for a very long time. Maybe not as long as some people, but in my eyes, I've been following you for quite a while. I always see you out there just kicking ass, taking names. You're just out there doing it. How long have you been in the industry?
This is my 4th year.
You know, and that is so hard to believe because I see you so busy out there. You're driving, you record yourself, you put your number out there. You are totally public and transparent when it comes to your business. Couple of things I want to know though. What mindset do you have every single day that gets you to become so successful in this industry?
That's a good question, Jesse. Well, definitely mindset is huge for me, and I work on it every single morning. I even have it on my bathroom mirror. I have it written down. Success starts in the mind. You know, because it's like yesterday I had a conversation with my daughter. I met up with my daughter for lunch, and I told her, talk to yourself nicely. I said, tell yourself beautiful things and everything around you will be beautiful.
I like that. Talk to yourself nicely, because I guess like they say, if you can't love yourself, right, you can't love at all.
Exactly.
So first and foremost, you are number one when it comes to being successful. You got to focus on yourself. You got to be nice to yourself, like you said. What when you're out there showing houses to your clients, what keeps you motivated to do that? Because there's a lot of buyer's agents out there that don't like to drive. I do a lot of open houses, as you know. I post them, and you know how many times clients come in without their agents? Oh, their agent said just for me to come. So what keeps you motivated to going and showing houses to your clients?
One of the things that I absolutely love about showing property is, well, first of all, I like seeing houses. I do. I enjoy it. It doesn't matter how many houses I've already seen. It could be from the ugliest house to the most beautiful house. I really enjoy it. It's like it's just something I like to do.
You want, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. And not only that, but when I'm ready to submit an offer, I think that the best thing in how to guide my client, or where we're gonna submit at, how we're gonna submit, how strong and aggressive my terms are gonna be. I'm gonna definitely guide them to the best of my ability if I seen the property. When I don't see the property, I feel kind of like, oh man, like, am I really doing like my best?
Right.
When I didn't see the property, I don't know how much work it needs. I don't know how aggressive I should be. I don't know if we're going to need X amount of dollars in credit. Or when they tell me like, hey, Celeste, do you think that we can ask for a credit if I seen the property and it's like pristine condition? No, we can't. Like, I don't think I don't think you really want this house badly enough if you want to ask for a credit. And I mean, let's compare it to A, B, and C. Like, this house had, it was beautiful. It had, nice flooring. It had good paint. It had good lighting, all these extras, bells and whistles. And you want to ask for a credit? I don't think like that you're committed.
So when you're out there representing a client, you're actually really taking control of your client. You're looking out for your client's best interest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of agents right now that don't do that. They'll sit there and, like, I'll ask an agent, because I deal with a lot of agents that obviously that have buyers, and I'll ask them, hey, did you ask for a seller credit? No, I can't do that. Why? I don't know. Like, so value to me as an agent, and even as a lender, value to me is everything. So it sounds like you bring a lot of value to your clients, right? Negotiating seller credits, right?
Yeah.
How does that go for you? How many times do you think you negotiate, and how many times do you think you get it?
Well, it's a little easier right now. I
Yeesh,
think
I like
that.
that. See that?
I think.
Easy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've probably gotten every single one of my buyers a
Oof.
credit this year.
Man, if you agents are watching this, which you will, that's how confident you got to be when you're out there representing your clients.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
like that. So, off the top of your head, what do you think is the most valuable thing you've learned or done for your clients? Oh, like say in the last 60 days.
The most valuable that I've done for a
Mm-hmm.
client,
Right.
get them into the house that they really want.
Boom.
I mean, one that we did the inspection just this Sunday.
Right.
My client, we submitted an asking price and we asked for a credit. I said, well, this is the one you really want, but, it's been on the market for a few days. Let's see. Let's see if it sticks. But
But it doesn't hurt
just
to try,
know.
right?
I that's what I told him. I said, let's try. Just know, like, compare it to all the other properties that you already seen, that you know that you like this one the best.
Right.
I said, right? And he's like, yes. I said, so be prepared that if they say no credit, be prepared to come up in price and, potentially not take any credit. Are you prepared for that? Because you already know that if we
Right.
compare it to all the other properties, this is the best property, right? Yes. Okay. Well, let's just, keep that mindset in mind that we're going to go all in, even though it's a competitive market. And yeah, we had.
So you're upfront with your clients. You pretty much tell them this is what could happen, this is a possibility, and this is what's going to happen.
Yes.
So you're upfront with them. That's goes back to the old bait and switch routine back in the day. Like they would overpromise and just totally underdeliver. Most agents, especially ones that are still kind of new, they're not setting up clients for success.
Yeah.
They're setting up clients for disappointment.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden the house falls out of escrow. Why? And it could be for something that you should have disclosed as an agent. You should have caught it.
Yes.
And disclose it, and that's pretty much it. Because writing an RPA, right? That's one of the most important things in this industry. If you don't have the right verbiage, you don't write it up correctly.
Correct.
What happens?
You'd get nowhere.
That's it.
That's it. Nowhere.
So you get nowhere. So that's good. That's good. And talk to me about your business right now. So how are you generating your business? I know you talked to me a little bit before this about referrals and everything. How do you think technology now is going, or I take it back, how do you think technology is impacting your business?
The way technology impacting my business. Well, let me go back to the last question because I was not done.
Oh,
so I think one of the important things in succeeding is that you have to set up, whether it's your seller or your buyer, you have to give them expectations. Like these are the expectations, because even with buyers, like some buyers will start to get nervous, or they'll start to get cold feet, or they'll start to feel like, I'm arguing with my partner a lot. I'm arguing with my husband a lot. Like, why? Maybe this is not the right time. Maybe this is, and I set them up for that too.
Right.
And I tell them before we start, negotiating, if you get to a point where you're arguing at home, let me let you know that everybody goes through this. If you start feeling cold feet, if you start getting nervous, if you start feeling scared, you're not alone.
Wow.
It's because I work with a lot of first-time buyers. It's like, and I tell them, you're not alone. Don't think that this is not normal. This is normal.
Right.
So if you feel more, if you need more reassurance, give me a call. Give me a call. Give your lender a call. We'll help guide you through it. We'll answer all of your questions again. And that's it. You have to set them up for success. You have to set the expectations, because if not, they think like, well, maybe this is a bad omen.
A bad omen.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just like, no, this
and that
this is normal.
That happens a lot out there. There are people like I think you know this, like if you have a specific client, they won't buy the house if there's staircases in front of the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just kind of strange.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but technology, going back to your question about technology and how technology is helping my business and impacting my business. Well, I do think, I'm so grateful for technology and for social media, because my business thrives off of social media. My business thrives off of technology. I mean, we can make this video and it's just you and I right here,
Right.
and, you know, post it, you know, tomorrow, and, you know, get at
Someone will
least,
see it.
you know, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 views.
Yes.
And it's like, out of that 10,000, you know, somebody's going to refer us to somebody.
Of course.
Right?
It only takes one.
Yeah. Somebody, and that's how my business has been so successful. It's just that I focus on what it is that, like, I focus on attracting the client that I'm looking for.
Right.
And that's how I started with social media, you know, my sphere of influence, but getting out there. You know, I didn't necessarily have to pick up the phone and call them. I just had to post and, you know, send them my videos and ask them to share them.
Right.
And ask them to like them. And that was the beginning of everything.
Your circle of influence is very important in this industry. I think I put out a video last week, and I said, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be able, because at that point, that means that opportunity for growth, I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out. So I don't want to be the smartest one. I want to have a circle of influence that is going to lift me up and push me on the days where we feel in this industry, you know, we may not clock in 9 to 5, and this industry can cause its mental exhaustion causes physical exhaustion, right? And people don't realize, like, we work 7 days a week. I know I do, 7 days a week, and sometimes we're on the phone all freaking day. And there's times where people try to call you that are just your friends.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you didn't pick up. It's like, dude, you know what? I've been on the phone all day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with the phone.
I don't wanna talk.
Done with the phone. So that's good that you have a good circle of influence. And I think a couple of weeks ago, I saw you at an event, and you mentioned about how a CRM started getting you more organized, right?
Yeah.
How's that working out for you right now?
Absolutely. I love my CRM. My CRM is just taking my business to another level. Like, I'm able to input data and then just, you know, mass text, or, you know, do the ringless voicemails.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So it's just like, this goes with us everywhere, right?
Of course, absolutely.
So it's like, if for my CRM to be able to text people, call people, email people, it's like, I don't have to be there, you know, sending one at a time or even placing that call.
I like that.
Even though, you know, picking up the phone, it's powerful.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that all agents need to learn to do. That was one of the things that did change my business last year, you know, where took my gross commission from, you know, 210 to 370 because it was...
Someone's buying lunch next week. No, I'm just kidding.
It was, you know, me picking up the phone. Like, my manager was like, how often do you call your center of influence? Like, oh, I don't really call them. You know, I just kind of post. He's like, well, call them.
Right.
And he's like, just start at A, you know, in your contacts and start going down the list.
That's a good way. That's a good way to find a lead. That's a good way. Or how about when you're in the supermarket and you just butt into a conversation? I don't know if you've ever done that, butt into a conversation, and eventually you kind of turn that conversation into your conversation.
Yes.
Like, I'm in real estate. Here's my card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll be talking about something, recipes, and then I'll listening in and I'll be like, you know, some way or another, I got to take control of that conversation and kind of turn it into a real estate conversation. And then there you go. The other day I was at the gym. I met somebody in the sauna that was telling, but we're talking, and he says, oh, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a lender. And he says, oh man, he's like, you're the guy I want to talk to. This is what I'm going through right now. But if I wouldn't have said anything, if I would have just walked in, just kept my mouth shut and that's it, do my time in there, I would have never known. And now that picked up that guy as a lead. I connected him with one of my contractors, and now he's going to start doing an ADU.
Nice.
He's going to call me to refinance, to take money out. Like, so it's going to lead to a lot of
beautiful,
things.
yeah.
You know, one conversation can lead to doors of opportunities.
Absolutely.
You know, what about, since you do a lot of buyers, what do you do when your buyer says, hey, I want to wait for the rates to drop? Yeah.
Well, I do remind them of, like, you know, how long has it been that you've been wanting to buy, you know? And because I got to remind them, like, okay, well, you've been on this journey of wanting to buy, right? And it's been one thing or another that's holding you back, whether it's the prices, whether it's the rates, whether it's the, you know, I didn't have the money saved up. So it's like, there's always, I remind them of like, you're just not ready. Sometimes I tell them like, you're just not ready. You know, it's not the rates. It's just like, you're going to buy when you're ready. Because if before it was the money that you didn't have it saved and now you have it saved, and before it was, you know, you didn't have the 2 years of work history and now you have the 2 years of work history, I'm like, you just keep adding an excuse and excuse and excuse. So you've got to really sit down and decide, like, I can afford it right now, even at the rate that the houses are at. I'm like, and if the prices drop, the rates, no, if the rates drop, the house prices are going to go up.
Right.
So if the
That's
house
what
prices,
a lot of people don't understand.
They don't understand.
They don't understand that.
Yeah, and I tell them like, if the price was already a factor, like it's going to be. You're going to be in a more competitive market. I'm like, there's people that have told me like, oh, I was shopping with another agent a few years back, and what happened? I actually showed a condo to this one girl in Riverside, and I closed her in Riverside, and she was like, well, we started working with this agent, and they were, you know, wanting offers like $40,000-$50,000 more, and we just decided to just step back. And it's like, oh, and we're happy now that, you know, the properties are not going, we don't have to do a bid of 40, 50,000 over asking. I said, but if you would have bought even at 40, 50,000, you would have about $100,000 of equity right now.
Yep.
And she was just like, yeah, but we don't have to do that, and I'm happy. I was like, shoot, I'm happy too. I'm gonna close you, but
I like that. I'm happy too. I'm gonna close you.
But it's just like, you have to. I remind people it's like I remind them of their journey. Like I ask about what their journey has been, who they've worked with, what it's been like, and what have been the obstacles.
Those are fact-finding questions right there.
Yeah.
What a lot of agents don't do, fact-finding questions. There's times where I have an agent call me and they'll be like, hey, Jesse, I need to get a pre-approval, no problem. And they don't ask no questions. They're just like, you got a pulse? Yes, okay, Jesse, talk to him. And then I find out that maybe they got low credit, and it's not a problem because I can fix their credit, but that's not the problem is that you're not asking the right questions.
Right.
If you're not, and I don't expect an agent to put on a lending hat because listen, you've been in the industry long enough to know the basics of lending. I've been in the industry long enough to know the basics of an agent, but I'm not trying to wear that hat.
Right.
I'm not trying to wear that hat. Just ask the right questions, which is going to make my job easier, which is going to make your job easier, because now you're not only wasting your time, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
I could move on to a next client.
Right.
I had somebody that they send me a client and they didn't even have a job. You know what I mean? I'm like, how do you not get that out of it? A job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so for me, I think that's important. Now, what about when they say, I'm waiting for the rates to drop? I never sell rate. Ever. I don't remember the last time I even discussed rate. It's always benefit.
Yeah.
Why do you want this house?
Yeah.
Why do you're selling, you're downgrading, you're upgrading, you're doing one or the other. Yes. And if, like you said earlier, if you can afford it, you buy it.
Yeah.
What people don't understand, most of you buyers out there, you only need 7 payments.
Yeah.
7 payments on a property, and then at that point, you can refinance.
Yeah.
And if you're on a streamline, you can do a streamline,
yes,
depending on where the rates are at. So you're not obligated to stay in this rate for 30 years.
Correct.
You know,
yeah,
so, but that's where you guys come in.
Yeah.
And you guys can tell them that, like, hey, do you want this property? Yes, I do. What's the benefit of buying this property? So, but yeah, no, that's good stuff, Celeste. So what about you as having a team? Have you ever thought about having a team? Because I know you're busy.
You know, I have recently. Before, I didn't feel prepared. I felt like kind of ill prepared, not ready. Because, I mean, my first year in real estate, I did pretty well. You know, I closed 14 deals my first year.
Your first year?
My first year,
wow.
Yeah. I closed.
And that was like no experience.
No experience.
Wow.
So I would have, and because I was on social media and I would post all my stuff, I would have people reach out to me. Like, hey, Celeste, you know, like, can you teach me this? Can you teach me? And I'd be like, me teach you? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what am I gonna teach you? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna teach. Like, just call people. Just, you know. But now I feel like things are. I can make sense of things.
Right.
I can reiterate what it is that I do. I know how to tell somebody you know, you got to do X, Y, and Z, and you're gonna get, you know, a lead. You're gonna get a deal.
Right.
Like
even they told you just go down your phone.
Yeah.
Go down your people and you'll find something. And
Right.
I'm sure you can find something there.
Right.
And if that person ain't ready, then they know somebody who is.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So no, that's good, Celeste. That's good. And then on the lending side, you know, are you getting your deals closed pretty fast?
Pretty fast, yeah. My lenders are usually like 30 to 45 days, some of them.
30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of good first-time buyer programs out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of first-time buyer programs. There's also ways of getting closing costs through creative financing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what people don't understand is that you can actually finance your closing costs. We were just talking about that earlier today. You know, and it may not be a lot, maybe like $5,000, $10,000. It's only going to cost you a few bucks to try to finance. So I tell all my agents, look, the value you bring to your client is key because they're going to tell one person, they're going to tell another person, it's going to keep going. So if they ever ask them, hey, can you get closing costs? Yes, I can. Like me, I'm a yes guy. Can you do this type of loan? Yes. And they're like, you can? Yes, I can. I can do any type of loan. But we try to get them done in like 8 to 10 days is what we do. 8 to 10 days closing, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's really fast.
Yeah, pretty fast. No more than 15 days. I don't remember the last time I saw a 30-day close of escrow, to be honest with you. So,
wow.
No overlays. You know, but we try to give back though. Like I think you saw. I'm not sure if you saw a video of mine. I'm not looking for agents like, you know, to say, here's a lead. I just want to see what value they have. What can they bring to the table? Like, who could you connect me with? What if I need somebody in commercial? What if I need somebody that can build an ADU?
Yeah.
You know? So to me, value is everything. If you bring value to the table, then we're all going to win.
Yeah.
And remember what I said.
I agree.
Competition starts at the bottom. The ones at top are collaborating. So that's what it is.
I agree. I love it.
But what about me, Celeste? You got anything for me?
Well, let's see. I've seen all your videos. I love them.
Wow.
You know, you got some
That's
good
the man
videos.
behind them over there.
That's the man.
Yeah.
You guys do a really great job. I'm pretty impressed. You know, I didn't know that your closings are like 8 to 10 days.
Oh, yeah.
8 to 10?
8 to 10. 8 to 10. And
tell me more about that.
Off of camera, I'll tell you how we do it. But for the most part, it is an 8 to 10 day close of escrow, especially if the property is there's no people in there. It's just a vacant property.
Yeah.
It'll be an 8 to 10 day close of escrow.
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
So what I can do is I can actually do a fully underwritten file while you're shopping.
Nice.
So I clear all conditions while you're shopping.
Nice.
So by the time you're done, I just need the address, and the appraisal, done. Because everything was done while you were shopping.
Got it.
So I'm gonna call the client and say, hey, I need a letter of explanation for this.
Yeah.
I need you to fill out this or do that. Just satisfy all conditions while you're shopping.
Ahead of time.
And then once I'm done, once you say, all right, here's the contract, Jesse, I'm done, no problem. Order the appraisal's done, and everybody's happy.
Wow.
I just had one last week where we did the appraisal. We got the appraisal done in 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days for the appraisal. And then we got the whole process done in 15 days. Done.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's how pretty how fast we are. But look, was it always like that? No, of course not. I had to tweak some stuff. You know, like everything, like your phone. Everything is done on your phone.
Yeah.
I got a link. I send it to the client. They fill out the application on their phone. 10 minutes. And that's pretty much it. It takes about 10 minutes. But yeah, that's what we do.
Nice.
That's what we do.
And how long have you been in the business?
You really want to know?
I want to know.
This is my 21st year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my 21st
Happy 21st. Year.
In December will be my 21st year.
Cheers
I've
to
never
that.
had no other job, no part-time job, nothing.
Really?
Just full on, not taking shit from nobody, and just not looking back.
I love it.
That's it. This is my only job. I mean, you know how it is. This is our only job. So at the end of the day, the grind is real.
It is.
The grind is real.
It sure is. I think that's one of the most important things that I tell anybody that's new. It's like, once you get something in escrow, like you don't stop right there. No. Like, you can't just babysit that deal because it may fall out. You can't, like, you've got to make sure that you got a good lender at your side so that you feel like you don't have to babysit your deal. I'm like, and don't let, like, some people, I feel like some people get like a paralysis. And it's just like, no, you got to keep going. You got to keep making these calls. You got to keep making these connections. Like, and work on getting that next one into escrow.
Right. And you know how my mindset goes, to be honest with you, what I've learned over the years is work a quarter ahead. So like we're finishing up the second quarter. My second quarter was already done last month.
Yeah.
So right now I'm working on my third quarter because if I can keep that mindset of working a quarter ahead, I'm always gonna have a paycheck.
Yes.
I'm always gonna be consistent. And so that's how I work. But yeah, there's agents in this industry that say that the sky's falling. They can't do it. But I see you, like, that's how I found you. What you guys don't know is I followed Celeste and I started seeing her videos, great videos, right? And then I said, one day I'm gonna meet her, and guess what? She's sitting here right now, and that's the power of social media.
Yeah.
I would have never found you if I wouldn't have followed you. I would have never found you. One way or another, social media is going to be something that'll level up your business when you don't even know it.
Yeah, it's powerful.
I never thought I'd meet you in person. And now look, you're sitting right here.
Pleasure.
Let's go. Let's go. So I am the Mortgage Line 824 on all platforms. You are
Celeste, your SoCal Realtor.
So if you need a hustler, she's the one that you're going to go after.
If you need a 10-day closing,
then I'm the one you're going to go after. So follow this video. If you want more, give us a follow and DM us. And you know how I like to end it? Lines only, baby.
That's right. Lions only.
Boom.